I'm late again. This is supposed to be my end of autumn May tour, but it's actually winter now. We're 11 days into it in June, and yeah, I'm late. I can put a week of that down to suffering from a cold. Not anything bad, just a normal bog standard ordinary cold, but it did knock me around for a bit, so I lost about a week from just not feeling up to it. But since then I have thrown myself into the garden because I need to be very organised this winter. I have a project going on in November where I'll be away from the garden for 20 days, which is terrible. That's like late spring and it's the worst time to go, but it's the best excuse, so there's balance. So anyway, so what I'm trying to do this winter is just work hard all the way through so that the garden is spring ready. I need to get all the beds prepared so that come spring I'm not actually preparing beds as well as managing seedlings and things like that. So all going well, I'll just manage the seedlings and it'll be fabulous. So the work hasn't let up. The garden is mostly cover crop, a few stragglers from the summer and some winter crops and some next season crops already, and then I've got other projects going on as well. So I think the best thing to do is actually show you what's going on. So come with me, let's go and come on, have a look, come on. Okay, starting with the herbs in sector 1, I pulled out the basil because it was gone. There was no leaves left on it, there was no point. But the coriander it's flourishing. So we should have good coriander all winter because it actually prefers the cooler weather. There are daffodils. These are early chairs. They're a bit windswept. I wish you could smell them though. For all their damage, they smell amazing. And then I managed to take care of the aphids in the garlic chives, but I lost my ordinary chives, and that still needs to go, that sorrel. We really don't eat it enough to justify the space in the herb bed. But yeah, herbs. Well, I think I need to do something with this as well. This is a monster. That's my rosemary. Yeah. Okay, in the cut flower garden, I've still got some rogue sunflowers. They're a bit wind-bashed. The dahlias have gone. I need to sort out the gladiolus. They've got rust. I need to deal with that. I don't know, that's pretty nasty. They shouldn't even be up. They're a summer thing. And the zinnia's finished. The stock, while I like it, they're always in a state of almost going to seed, so yeah, time to get rid of them. Carnation, same thing, really leggy, so they're going. The gaura, I've trimmed it back, it's all good, but the whole bed needs a makeover. In the next row we have peas, and these are some garlic that I put in last season and forgot about them, and they've come up on their own, so that's quite interesting. But varying states of health. I'm not expecting a lot, except that elephant garlic down the end looks good. There were peas here, but I picked the last of them and then pulled them out, and then so these are the next succession peas. Not yet ready, but this had the corn last season, we'll have the peas next season, and the bed is tucked up ready for the new season. This had the squash, yeah, this had the squash in it, cover crop doing its thing, and this had the onions, once again cover crop doing its thing. This is lupin, that's mustard, and then this is where the tomatoes were, where the onions are going to be. The onions will go in about a week, I think, so this bed is ready for them. So that's good. This had the onion overflow last year, and now that's got mustard cover crop, so that's okay. the odds and sods. I pulled out the last of the okra just recently, and the only thing left languishing is an eggplant that's not giving up. So, well, let it. This had the melons, now it's got lupin, looking good. This is the brassicas. We've got new season kohlrabi. Aren't they cute? And then we've got some broccoli that really needs to be eaten. And then over here, the salad crops. I mean, these are still doing really well. So it's good to have lettuces in the winter. So yeah, something to nibble on. They won't bolt as quickly as they do in the summer because they don't really like the hot weather. So the peppers are still going. Yeah, so I think I'm just picking as I can. Yeah, they should give up eventually, surely. I'm not going to overwinter them this year. It was just too much of a nightmare with overwintering diseases, and I like growing them from seed. And this is where the zucchini was last year, but it's ready and waiting for the onion overflow. So that will also be planted. Shallots and leeks and red onions and things like that will go in here in a couple of days. This is where the cucumber is going next season. Now I've had a rejig in the crop rotation of sector 3 because it wasn't working because I had nowhere to put the garlic. So the garlic was in here, and so it was supposed to be, I think, I can't remember. Anyway, the cucumber's going in here. That'll be fine. The timing works out well. This is my leafy greens. I've got spinach and silver beet, and it's really nice to have fresh food to add to the winter diet. And then there's some celeriac, and some bok choy and tatsoi and other things like that. So that's quite cool. And these are my root crops. So I've got fennel, beetroot, although some of them are getting a bit big, so I'll need to do something with those. Beetroot. Oh my gosh, he's massive. How did I miss him? Then we've got Swedes. Oh, there's a row of Swedes. So a succession planting my Swedes. Parsnips. The last of the carrots over in this corner, because the carrots will go in here. This will be the new root crop bed. So as this had the potatoes. So as these come to an end, I will replant new in here. So, and then the beans, there's still a few hanging in there. So once again, if they want to, I'll let them. Look, see, still flowering. This is the garlic over here. This has been in since April. Really wary of rust again this year, so I'm actually preventatively spraying it. So far so good. I have found if you start early with the garlic, it gives it a chance to get big enough to actually be good enough before the rust sets in. So yeah. And then there's the asparagus. This is almost ready to cut back. I'll probably do that towards the end of the month because there's still some green here. You know, we want to suck all the nutrients back into the crown so we can have, so this will be year 4 coming up, and oh, I love it. Asparagus is delish. So yeah, so once that last bit of green disappears, I'll cut them down and give them a feed and lavish them with love. I chopped down the stems of the Jerusalem artichoke and then left them there, but I'll need to start digging them up and eating them or doing something with them. And the greenhouse is a mess. You have to forgive me the mess. But what we have over here is there's all the onion ready to go in. So what I did is I've actually put them in across my 1 meter beds. I can fit 7 onion. So I've put 7 onion seedlings in each cell. So then I've got it's just easier to work out, easier to manage, but they are looking fabulous. It's going to be a pleasure to plant those out. And then there's a couple of flowers over the back. There's some asters and a peony poppy that need potting into bigger pots, I think. And then some chamomile for a project. Oh, I wish you could smell this. Oh, it's lovely. So yeah, and then, oh, under here I've got some cuttings. It's a really good way to keep them moist. So, oh, we've got some weeds. Oh, they seem to have done all right. Some of them have taken, some of them haven't, but that's cool. And then these are my rosemary cuttings for a project. I have to show you the project, it's really cool. Okay, the artichoke needs love. The yams definitely need love and digging up. I doubt there's anything in there, to be honest, because I fail at that every year, but every year I try. This is my flower garden, also needs love, but it's on the list. Oh, and my edible flowers. This is just rampant and delightful, and I love it. So it's very luscious for winter. It's not actually cold, it's only 11 degrees at the moment, 11 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in anything else. But it started out as quite a gloomy day, but I think the sun will burn out the clouds and we will be away. My windbreak's doing relatively well protecting my rhubarb. The wind came from this direction just recently, so that's why they're a bit battered, but yeah, they need love. But I'm just letting it kind of do its thing. I haven't taken any from it this season while it recovers from being bashed by the ocean breezes. This is mustard cover crop in the pumpkin bed, and it is ready to sort out because it's flowering. You're supposed to do it before it flowers, not as it flowers, otherwise the stems get too woody. So you can see they're still quite young, and so it'll be right. She'll be right. And then the rest of this end of the bed, I'm just gonna like die of shame and embarrassment, so I'm just gonna do a quick, oh dear, don't look, don't look, don't look, oh, this is a project that needs desperate work. And so next time I show you, or maybe the time after, it will actually be much improved, so we won't dwell. You never saw it, you never saw it. The rest of the garden is organized and fabulous, but let me show you my project. It is really cool. Oh, firstly, down here has become a bit of a storage area. These are daffodils. I had to divide the pots because I just had them in these pots last season and they came up blind. These, I think, the King Alfred. They didn't have flowers on them at all because they were overcrowded, so I've split them and I've actually had to ended up with this many pots and a couple more over there. So yeah, so daffodils, it's going to be amazing once they pop up. There's some heuchera there for a project and some ajuga, and they will look amazing what I have in mind. The lavender, I don't even know what I'm doing with that. And then there's, oh, those are iris for another project. It will look fabulous. I'm not ready for where they need to go, but they were sprouting in their bag, so I planted them. Bricks for a project, more of the daffodils. Seriously, oh, there's some lilies and other things in there as well. They're not all daffodils, but yeah, it got busy. Oh, and the rock. Let me show you the rock for my rock building project. It's actually coming along nicely. Look at that. So yeah, so this is the rock for my rock building project. It's actually, so I'm putting a second layer on it so that we get rid of the fabric and it just looks more even. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. It's got enough character in it to not look like a chicken wire square. That's the rock. Okay, and these are more plants. So these are tulips and ranunculus. It's my port wine magnolia, Daphne, bird of paradise over the back, and then a lemon verbena. But I can't have them up against the shed because there's no gutter. So I'm going to rectify that. I've ordered some guttering. It should arrive today. So it'll be nice to have guttering. And so yeah, up here, this is the palace. So this is my project. So what I'm doing up here is there's a path heading off. So I'm just starting. It's doesn't look like much yet, but it's going to be fabulous. So the rock that I'm building, that will go up in here and it will be amazing. I can see it all, and the bricks, it'll be fabulous, and the rosemary cuttings, it'll be awesome. I can't wait. Beautiful view from here. So that's where I'm at with the garden in late autumn, early winter. It's coming along nicely, actually. I mean, it's a far cry from years gone by where I've just left a big weedy mess and ignored the winter. But it's really nice to be productive and actually have a garden that actually looks good. And knowing that it's for a good cause, so that it will be easier in the spring. So thanks so much for coming along. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully it won't be so late. Okay. And if it's not so late, that means, oh my gosh, I've got to actually make quite a difference so that it's worth watching again. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Take care. I better get going. That palace isn't going to build itself. Yeah, and that top corner, that'll probably be a July project, that top corner. Okay, I better get going. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.